Bonsoir, monsieur, dames. Ce soir, on va faire le coq au vin. The chicken cooked in red wine, otherwise known as coq au vin. COQ, right? So the chicken is marinated in red wine. So I have it in these sandwich bags, and I've marinated it for 2 days. Now we're going to take it out. We're going to dry it. We're going to pat it with a little bit of flour. You don't have to do that part. We're going to brown it, and then we're going to add a whole bunch of vegetables, some onions, some carrots, a bouquet garni, parsley, thyme, bay leaf, garlic, shallots, a little dried mushroom. So we're patting the chicken dry, right? It's in the red wine. You see how it's red wine stained? You can put it on a dish towel if you want. I didn't really want to stain a dish towel, so you can use some paper towels, whatever you want to do. And what we do is we're going to transfer to this wire rack right here. If you don't have a wire rack, no big deal. We want to season this. I'm seasoning the skin side, and I will also do the other side. And this is what we do with the flour. I have a little Wonder flour here. I'm just going to dust the top. And of course, we're using Green Circle Heritage Chicken from D'Artagnan. Check them out at www.d'artagnan.com if you want to get some Green Circle chicken. I'm going to lay this in. And that's about what we want to hear. So I don't want to crowd this. I'm going to do all the thighs first. You don't have to do wings. I like wings. I'm going to season the other side of the meat. So now we're going to turn the thighs. I don't know if you can see. It's a little hard to tell whether it's brown or not because it's been stained with red wine, but you can tell that that's brown. At this point, I just want to turn that. I'm going to turn all those pieces and just give it a little on the other side. All right, so chicken is out resting. We have some carrots, onions, some shallots, and some garlic. I have a little dried mushroom that I'm using, some dried porcini. I'm going to add that. Slab bacon here that I cut in to what we call lardon. That's a vegetable. Did you know this is a vegetable? So this is part of the traditional setup. Taking slab bacon. I've also taken some of the rind and I put it in there. We're just going to release the bacon. But if you don't like to use bacon, then absolutely skip it. No problem. You can do whatever you want. If you don't want to put the skin on the chicken, you can take the skin off the chicken. You can make this as healthy or as decadent as you like. This is where we brown the chicken, and we have what we have here, a little fond. This is where you have a lot of flavor. So what I'm going to do right now, I'll turn the heat down. I'm going to add a little bit of brandy or cognac. I don't know what that is. Maybe half a cup. And I want to scrape the bottom of the pot. There's so much flavor. We have that there. That kind of is the browning. It has a tremendous amount of concentration of flavor. The next thing we do now, these are our bags that we marinated the chicken in. And they're loaded with red wine. Get yourself a bag in the box. This is cool. This is like Cab and Merlot. It doesn't have to be Pinot Noir. I roasted the vegetables. I put the bacon in. I want to cook the wine out so that I'm not braising this chicken in raw wine. Otherwise, it's going to be harsh. The thighs, the drumsticks, the wings, the rind from the bacon, the bouquet garni I put back in. I'm layering. I mean, it was like 37 degrees this morning, so I thought this may be a good idea. I didn't just find it in the pantry. It was a premeditated idea. I made some chicken stock with all of these beautiful chickens. I cover this thing. I have tomato paste. If you have a little tomato paste, I'm just going to do a little bit of a squeeze. It's going to add nice color. It's going to thicken the sauce. Cover this with a lid like so, and we're going to gently simmer this now for about an hour and 40 minutes or so, and then it's going to take us a few hours to cool it, and then we're going to pull it out, and you're going to see what we're going to do then. I'll see when we're done with this. All right, so we're going to finish the coq au vin. In that big pot, I have pulled out the chicken. I had it sitting in the braising liquid overnight. Now I've pulled it out. I've got this beautiful red wine braising liquid made with chicken stock and these Green Circle Heritage chickens. Place my thighs and drumsticks, a couple of breasts in there. Red wine braising liquid. We're going to gently reheat the chicken. We're going to place it in the oven. We're going to add a few knobs of butter. And we're going to glaze the top. So our chicken's working. We have the glazed carrots, pearl onions. I'm using red pearl onions today, and just because I thought it would be cool, hen of the woods mushrooms. Get it? Coq Au Vin, hen of the woods mushrooms. Big, beautiful pot of this heritage bacon that we cut into some lardons, some cubes. You do not need to cook all these vegetables separately. These same vegetables, although I didn't put pearl onions in the big pot before, I put carrots, onions, garlic, thyme, parsley. I put some dried mushrooms, red wine. I put a splash of brandy, if you remember, and a lot of beautiful chicken stock. You can just cook that pot, get the chicken tender. If you want, pull the chicken out and reduce the liquid to where you want it. All right, let's cook some pappardelle. Pappardelle egg noodles, that's a traditional thing with Coq Au Vin. It may not be called pappardelle, but they make egg noodles in France. You don't have to make these. I just so happened to make it the other day. And what I'm gonna do is I blanched them already. I mean, you know, I'd be shot in an Italian kitchen for doing that. We never pre-cook noodles, but for the purpose of this little segment that we're doing, we're gonna take a little bit of the braising liquid right into the liquid. Now it's time to make it French. The butter goes in. Now, I want to start to really mat the chicken. Mat, that's like a painting term, but it's a cooking term. Sometimes you hear people talking about napping something. That basically means to really thicken or lacquer the top of something, a sauce in particular, on the bottom of the pot. And that's the sauce thickening with the butter. It's looking very good. Some beautiful parsley, nicely chopped. Some chives I have, and I have some freshly picked thyme. And that's the noodle setup with the glaze and the butter. That's going to go underneath the chicken along with our vegetable. I think it's coming along well. Now I just want to make note. This sauce here I reduced down almost by 3/4. I know that's a little crazy. I typically like to make a strong sauce reduction. You don't have to do that. You can use a mixture of flour and butter mixed together. So tilt that. And the object is to get the whole thing reduced onto the chicken. Maybe it was a thigh that went awry. Look up Julia Child's recipe on Coq Au Vin. I think it's great. Here we go. Starting to get really beautifully napped or lacquered. That's what we're looking for. Now we're gonna get ready to put this whole thing together on a platter. I put butter in the pasta to really glaze the noodle because it had a meat glaze, right? Now I want to add some nice olive oil to that. And I think that that's a beautiful thing to do because it gives it sort of a little vibrant, sort of fruity quality now. Right into the middle of the plate. All right, now let's put the chicken on. And a nice breast. These beautiful thighs. Here we go, a couple of wings. Chicken and noodles, great. We have some beautifully glazed carrots here. I'm just gonna I cook these carrots, again, you don't have to do it. I did it with a little chicken stock and some butter. You can take the carrots directly from your braise. I'm using my fingers. You know the whole story about the fingers. Nobody here minds, so I hope you don't. I'm putting my pearl onions down. You can scatter a couple in the middle. Bacon that we rendered in a hot oven in a big pot with a lid. It was freezing here the other day, so I thought it would really be great to have this nice Coq Au Vin, which was heartwarming on a 37-degree day in May in New York. Hen of the woods mushrooms or maitake mushrooms, glazed pearl onions and carrots. We're just gonna take this nice glaze, right? It's all that reduced Coq Au Vin liquid with the red wine and the chicken stock and all of the vegetables that I strained out. I cook this down. I add some butter. And then we just really hit the top of all the chicken parts. And then I feel like I'm gonna have an emerald moment, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm simply gonna place the chives on here. I love emerald. And some parsley. Beautiful. And then I'll do a little bit of thyme, just a few thyme sprigs right around. And there you go. Coq Au Vin, which is the chicken braised in red wine with vegetables and chicken stock over noodles. A really beautiful, heartwarming Burgundian chicken stew. Thanks for joining us. Eat well, drink well. See you soon.